All right, I think we're live now, and would just like to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, SIUK, for organizing this session, the Open Day. And my name is Vatsal Chandra, and I'm the regional officer for University of Essex. Along with me, we have our regional director, Sandeep Sharma, and we also have our colleague, Meghna Jayaprakash, joining us. And hopefully, we'll be able to answer all your queries and questions in the next 1 hour. So I'll jump straight to our presentation. All right. I think before we start off with anything else, it's really important to just kind of go through why studying in UK is actually better and beneficial and has so many advantages for you. At the undergrad level, especially, there are so many different degrees that you can study. There's BA, there's BSc, there's Bachelor's of Engineering, LLB, and at Essex you also have combinations of joint honors degrees, wherein, for example, you can do a BSc in economics and psychology as a double majors. You can also do a major minor combination wherein you do journalism with modern languages, etc. And along with that, we also provide sandwich year courses options. So at the undergrad level, you have opportunity wherein after the second year, you go on and either do a degree abroad, do a year abroad, or you spend that 1 year as a placement year as well. So with Essex and in UK, you will get that opportunity, you will get that option to expand your horizon, get more experience and exposure, and also get more work experience under your belt. The other thing at the master's level, which is beneficial of studying in UK and with Essex, is that the master's programs are mostly for 1 year, right? So that makes it time and cost effective. The degrees are internationally recognized and accredited. So for example, our business degrees are all accredited by ACCA, CIMA, ICAEW, and then our psychology degrees are recognized by BPS as well, so on and so forth. So that really gives you a good opportunity to do a quick 1 year of masters to get a foot in the door in the corporate world. Along with that, we also have programs which include professional placement years at the master's level. So even they can be an optional 2-year program. So for example, a data science or an LLM in international commercial and business law or a trade and maritime law. These are different programs which Essex offers, wherein you have a second year at the master's level in which you do a placement year. So we are happy to offer you these kind of various different models. And lastly, it's very similar in a way to an Indian setup wherein you are not required to take up any external examinations. So at the undergrad level, we openly and happily accept CBSE and ISC boards and state boards as well. You don't have to take the SATs, GREs, or the GMATs for the master's level. So for example, our MBA, which is AMBA accredited, is actually you can get, or you can be eligible to apply simply with an Ielts and an interview, and if you have the right work experience. We are also happy to provide admissions and scholarships on the basis of your undergraduate marks and your percentages directly. So it's a very straight up process, unlike US, and also gives you that cushion, that comfort wherein you can just simply apply directly. Moving on. University of Essex. Well, to begin with, we were the University of the Year as per the Times Higher Education ranking in 2018. Not just that, we are a university which believes in creating an impact and creating a change. And for that, I have a small video over here, which will exemplify what our motto is.
We are Essex. We're on the side of people with guts, rebels with a cause. We're about people who love to learn how, but want to challenge why. But why do we have to stop here? Why can't we take it further to the bit where it really gets interesting? We're about the people who huddle outside a class long after it's finished because there's much more to be said, more arguments to be had. We're about people who are bold enough to challenge inequality and the status quo. People who don't expect the world to change simply because they liked a Facebook status or nodded when someone else spoke. At Essex, you're not just a student, you're a member, someone with genuine license to shape what goes on around you. To us, it doesn't matter where you've come from. We're interested in how you want to grow and what you want to change. We're after people who will help us to push the frontiers of knowledge. Challenging convention is in our DNA, all of which leaves you with a decision. Are you going to sit and watch the world go by? Or do you have the courage and energy to shape it? We'll help you explore, question, and create powerful ideas. We'll introduce you to people from every corner of the planet, a genuinely global community that lives, works, and plays together. If you give up at the first hurdle, Essex isn't for you. If you want to be spoon-fed a degree, Essex isn't for you. If you're brave enough to have ideas and generous enough to share them, welcome home.
It's very simple. If you are willing to make an impact, and if you are willing to study in a university which has the highest quality of teaching framework, which is rated gold, along with that, also rated in the top 15 in terms of student satisfaction, Essex is definitely the home for you. We're also in the top 30 in the UK for Sunday Times Good University Guide. We're ranked in top 25 in UK for research quality as well, and top 20 as the international community, as per the Times Higher Education World Rankings. A young and a modern university, Essex is less than 60 years old, and that really gives us the edge because we are very student focused. We are student centric. We are following up with the student trends, latest requirements and demands in the job sector, and that's where we have created our own niche, and we are separate and above other universities. We have 3 faculties, 21 departments, and more than 15,000 students. One key thing about Essex is that we are located quite close to London. We are about 45 minutes away from central London. We have 3 campuses, if you'll see: Colchester, Southend, and Loughton. Our main campus is Colchester. Southend is our beach-facing campus, where you have some courses placed there, and Loughton is actually placed in London, in London, but it is our acting school only. So we have a separate acting school, which is placed in Loughton, and all the other 2, Colchester and Southend, are 45 minutes away from central London. And a key factor again is that we also are an area with the lowest rainfall and the highest levels of sunshine in the UK. So for those of you who are slightly worried about the weather, well, Essex will definitely be more pleasant than other parts of the UK. This is one aerial view of our Colchester campus, our main campus, about 300-acre in area. If you'll see, everything in this picture that you can actually see is a part of the Colchester campus. We have our university, our academic buildings, on-campus accommodation, a STEM center, sports center, research centers and laboratories, and even a 4-star hotel on campus, which is home to our hotel management school. Moving on to our subjects, like I said, 3 main faculties, which are social sciences, humanities, science, and health. And we have subjects ranging from accounting and finance and banking, all the way to sports and exercise science, sports therapy, computer engineering, gaming, genetics, etc. Our departments, they include faculty of humanities, within which we have acting and history and pathways, law. Law is in the top 200 ranked departments in the world. Similarly, when it comes to departments of economics and computer science and engineering and mathematics, we're ranked in top 15, top 20, top 30 in the UK consistently. Our mathematical department is actually in the top 4 in the UK in terms of employment. So we're right up there when it comes to the international standards and providing you with the right kind of education and experience. Speaking of employability, well, I think this is a very important bit after you study your degree anywhere in the world, and especially with Essex, we lay a huge emphasis on student employability. And we do not only limit that to what you do after the degree, but we're also focusing on what you're doing during your degree. So like I said, there are work placement programs at the undergrad level. There are part-time work opportunities on and off campus. Both we have the Front Runners program, which is an exclusive on-campus job service for the students of Essex, so in which you get skill-based employment. So you can get a position of a data analyst in a local firm in Essex on one hand, and on the other hand, you can end up getting a place in the marketing department of the university itself through the Front Runners program as well. In terms of the kind of support, there are some more examples that we have. So we have the Essex Law Clinic, in which we actually partner with practicing solicitors, and we partner with our faculty members. And as a student of law, maybe at the master's level and even at the undergrad level, you have access to providing free legal advice to people of Essex. So this gives you a lot of exposure. This gives you a lot of experience as well in terms of understanding the people, understanding the kind of queries you might come across once you step out into the real world as well. Along with that, we have different areas with UNAIDS. We have different areas of collaboration with agricultural robotics. We have collaborative robots for fruit harvesting as well, with Tip Tree Farm, and my colleagues can jump in here. I think Tip Tree Farm is the same company which provides the jam to the Queen as well, I suppose. So, you know, there are an array of different areas which you can definitely look into as a student, and then practice and gain experience to get employment after your degree. Right. Now, having spoken about what we have, where we began, how old we are, and what we have to offer, let's talk about the future of it. Essex, like I had mentioned, we are a modern university, and we are always keeping up with the trends. Keeping the same in mind, because of what the world has come to right now, the world is going to change. I think it's going to be a pre-COVID and a post-COVID-19 world. And because of that, there's going to be a change in the different kind of programs as well. And we have kept that in mind. Essex has launched various programs in different areas, which will then enable you and help you in securing more lucrative jobs. So for example, we have fintech programs that we have launched. So we have a financial technology program which is in our business school. We have a financial technology program with our economics department, and we have a financial technology program with our computer science department. So if you are from any of the three backgrounds, let's say you have an economics honors degree, you can still do a finance technology program with economics. If you have a BSc in computer science, you can still do a fintech program with our computer science degree. Similarly, we have data analytics and health genomics, which is a breakthrough field and an area which we have established in the life science department. We have a course in Masters in Public Policy now as well. I mean, public policy experts are provided not just in the government sector nowadays. If you look at companies like Amazon, if you look at companies like Ola, they all have public policy experts that they're hiring, and these are very lucrative jobs in the coming years. We have data science and business analytics, which are already the future fields, and we offer very lucrative and strong programs. We have a combinations of economics and data science. We have combinations of finance and data analytics, and logistics and supply chain. Lastly, what Essex also focuses on is the spirit of entrepreneurship and our MBA. Our MBA, if you'll see this little photograph, we have something called the Shark Tank, which is a competition that the India office of Essex started last year, and wherein we encouraged and provided scholarships to students with business ideas, having a good business acumen. And we've conducted that this year as well, earlier this year. So we have various different methods through our incubation and startup center on campus, in which we are promoting and encouraging entrepreneurship. So if you are looking to start up your own business, Essex will provide you with the infrastructure and the support that you need and the expertise that you need to run that entrepreneurial business. If not, if you want to focus on a corporate world, on a job, again, our industry-based lectures, our MBA directors lecture workshops will again help you in preparing for the real world, for the corporate world, for different kinds of jobs and roles as well. Would my colleagues like to add anything here?
No, I think you're good.
Right. So having said that, having talked about what we have offered through the years, of course, it's always good to kind of take a dive into the history and talk about the different alumni that we have. So we've had, in economics, we've had Sir Christopher Pissarides, who was the Nobel Prize winner in economics in 2010. And as if one economics Nobel Prize winner was not enough, we had Mr. Oliver Hart as well, who won the Nobel Prize as an Essex alumni in 2016. John Bercow, for those, I'm sure a lot of you would be familiar with this name, with this personality. He was the former Speaker of the House of Commons for UK in the UK Parliament. He is also the Chancellor of Essex, and he is our alumni as well. Some other alumni from other areas are Shireen Sharmeen Chaudhary, who is currently, since the past 7 years, serving as the first and the only female Lok Sabha, or rather, the equivalent of Bangladeshi Lok Sabha speaker as well in the Bangladeshi Parliament. Ankit Mehrotra is actually, his photo is right up here. Ankit Mehrotra is the founder of a very famous app called Dine Out. I'm sure a lot of you would use it. I use it as well. I mean, I've been using it for a while now before I got to know that it was an Essex alum who was actually behind this. And founder of Mobike, again, in China, is also an Essex alum. Just to also give you an idea of the kind of support we offer beyond the different employment options, we also have career fairs, which our career center takes care of, and our career center will help you in finding jobs, in getting connected to these companies, and this video of the career fair will give you a better idea of that.
The Careers Fair is the pinnacle of the Employability Career Centre's calendar of events for the year. It brings together over 50 employers and has a footfall of over 1,000 students over the course of the day.
Today we have 52 exhibitors. 12 of them are from the Times Top 100 Graduate Recruiters list, which is more than we've ever had before. So it's the biggest and best careers fair we've ever done.
And obviously shows that Essex is now getting onto the national map of some of the largest employers that we have in the country. And we hope that today employers are actually starting to recognise that Essex really do push out some of the best graduates in the country.
I think it's been fantastic. We come to the fair in the spring each year. Been really impressed again by the calibre of the students that we see from Essex. We've taken a lot of Essex students on over the last few years and they're very, very good.
The day has been fantastic. I've met loads of computer science graduates, which is fantastic, and everyone's been so positive, enthusiastic, and it's a really good day for us today as a recruiter.
I think today's been very, very well organised, incredibly well organised, and it is just great to see so many students here. It makes it completely worthwhile.
I hope that students will come to the careers fair and be better informed about some of the choices they can make in their second and final years. I hope that they'll come along and maybe realise that working for BT means you don't have to be an engineer, you could be working in the HR or marketing department, and likewise for many other companies that we've got exhibiting here today. And I also hope that if they come and visit the Careers Lounge and meet our Employability and Career Centre team, that they perhaps feel motivated to go ahead and make their CV as brilliant as it possibly can be, and that they go forth and apply for jobs and get fantastic graduate roles once they leave university.
Right. So now I'll invite or ask my colleague Meghna to take over and speak about Essex and COVID-19, the hot and trending topic, and I'm sure a lot of you would have several burning questions on this.
Sure. Thank you, Vatsal. So yes, as Vatsal mentioned, this has been like the million-dollar question. What's happening currently and what are we as a university doing in this regard? I think as a university, we really quickly adapted to the situation, though all of us are working from home, including the academics and the administration. We have been doing our best to get a little taster of what we offer on campus to the students. So we've been organizing a lot of webinars and taster sessions. So if you're an applicant, you would be getting emails from us on what it is. The link is there listed. We are happy to send it to you later as well, if in case you're not received it. So you can go ahead and speak to academics directly. They'll of course give you in-depth knowledge about what they have to offer in each department. So it's really brilliant. Apart from that, the website that's mentioned here, the next point, that we updated almost regularly with the kind of information that students need to know from a student's perspective. What is happening, what are the numbers like, if you have to self-isolate, what you have to do, where's the closest medical facility, for instance. And basically any kind of concern that you have is addressed there. And there's also some numbers listed. So if you need to talk to someone, you're more than welcome to do that. We've been continuously trying to connect the academics, our alumni, as well as we are available as a team right here in India for any of your questions that you have. So please feel free to contact us for that as well as we are hoping for the best. If not, we already have our plan B ready. That's going to be blended learning. So that's not a permanent solution. That's a very interim part that we're going to have. So just for a couple of weeks, if students are not able to be there on campus in October, we're going to have blended learning. I'm going to talk a little bit about it in my later slides. Next slide, please. Okay, this also has been a really popular question with us. What's going to happen with the graduate immigration route? Is post-study work visa still valid? I'm sure students who are currently studying as well as students who are going to study there have exactly the same questions. Just want to say there has been no change in this regard up till this is a really recent screenshot that my colleagues have put up there. There has been no change. So even the students who are going to be doing remote learning, they still graduate, they still qualify for the graduate immigration route. So there's absolutely no need to worry. You still get your 2 years as soon as you finish your course, provided your course qualifies. There has been no change at all. So please, don't give a lot of heed to rumors. So just go ahead and apply, and just want to reiterate, it's very much still valid. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are we doing at Essex? What are we currently doing? There are a lot of students still on campus to this date. To what we are discussing, the students, they are over 1,500 students on campus who are extremely safe. Safety has been our top priority. We do have, in the picture that Vatsal showed you guys earlier, you would have seen, the campus is huge. So there also there is a grocery store on campus. There are certain restaurants on campuses as well. So there's food available. Of course, you can't dine in there, but there is takeaway. All sorts of essentials are available right there. So literally like a 5 to 10 minute walk from where you stay, you can just walk up there and get what you need and head back to your room. So it's really safe in that regard. All sorts of face-to-face teaching and exams have been substituted with an alternative route. Depending on the department, they have been making appropriate arrangements for that. So it's a tough time for everyone, mentally as well, most importantly, to remain strong and to just be positive in this really uncertain times. We have addressed that as well at Essex. There is a helpline. There is a lot of support given to your mental health. There are yoga sessions, there's meditation sessions, all of them, of course, which are conducted online. You can speak to someone as well. I know graduation is something that everyone looks forward to, but unfortunately it's been postponed, but of course it's going to happen in due course. Next slide, please. Okay, so if anyone who's listening is worried about not having the right grades in your IELTS or your TOEFL that you've already taken, we have a solution for that as well. The pre-sessional English course is already online. It is available now. So you can go ahead and apply to that. You no longer have to worry about it because it's already confirmed. It's online, it's going on. So the applicant will be able to join us for the 5-week one if they're looking at that. The 10-week one is already online. Yeah, the accommodation for that would be waived off as well. We accept all the exams that's been mentioned on the screen. So please feel free to apply for that. Contact us if you have any questions. We'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I think just to add there that pre-sessional is a really good way to kind of give a head start to your studies in case you have some if you're a little short on your English scores, you don't have to wait for the lockdown to end and then apply for a in-person or a physical test. You can simply start off our online pre-sessional program, and then immediately once it's done in the 5 or 10 weeks, you can start off with the course as well. So again, it's a very, very good platform to start off with your with your studies. Also, we will be happy to share again detailed information with any of you who are looking for pre-sessional English specifically.
Perfect.
Right. So also to talk about admissions in terms of what we have kind of changed or probably made flexible because of the COVID situation. Now, for those of you who are looking at undergraduate admission or looking at a bachelor's degree at Essex, we are going to consider your expected grades or calculated grades. So we will consider that, and we will, and then we will eventually consider your final examination grades as and when they happen. But as of now, if your exams have not been cancelled, we will give you an offer and we will consider you on the basis of your calculated grades. If your exams have been cancelled, then and there is no calculated grade, then we will consider your academic performance up to the point of COVID-19 disruption, and we will also see different kinds of letters and from schools, and just to confirm the results. And we will then go on and provide you that confirmation and clearing. One good thing is that if you're a student who has studied from ISC board or from CBSE board, then we will give you an Ielts waiver as well, provided you've received 70% in English or more. At the postgrad level, well, we again are going to look at your final year study marks. So let's say semester 5 exams. If you have the semester 5 result with you up till semester 5, then we will look at that overall aggregate, and if that's more than 50% roughly, then we will be able to accept you as well. Depending on the university, this may go slightly up or down as well, depending on the country and the university. And again, we will be happy to include your mark sheets or an email from the institution that your exams have been postponed up until this date, or the degree is not available, etc. As long as this communication is available from the university, then we are happy to provide you an offer or admission. The important bit is that there is Ielts waiver as well that we provide at the master's level, provided that you have graduated in 2017 or after 2017 from some top universities of the country, which we have recognized, and we have a list with us. So as and when you apply, I'm sure SIUK will help you kind of understand them. They also have a good idea, so they can also let you know of the various different universities wherein we do provide Ielts waiver as well. So just to give you an example, maybe if you're a Delhi University graduate, Mumbai University, BIT, Anna, Bangalore University, Christ, etc., you will be able to get an Ielts waiver if you've graduated in 2017 or later. However, there are certain courses that do not provide the Ielts waiver, and that's very specific. So we can look into that as depending on the course that you've applied to. So Meg, would you like to take up the blended learning approach?
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, so there's an option. Of course, we are all hoping for the best. We are hoping that everyone is going to be on campus in October and they're going to start classes just like how we intended it in the first place. But if it's not, we do have plan B. So that is what blended learning is. So we have done our best to integrate the students in and to offer that kind of face-to-face online activity and to have a really good flow of learning as well. We personalized it, and there is going to be teaching, there are going to be assignments. So that is basically what blended learning is. There are loads of benefits for blended learning as well. It's really effective. There's a lot of student engagement. So the student has that autonomy to select, to set their goals, all of that, depending on the kind of e-material that is handed over to them, working at their own pace as well, considering the situation and doing it online. They can work at their own pace. There's also a large variety of activities that happen. So you can work with your classmates for that. So it's not basically like how online, or distance learning works. So lectures played to you, you handed over some assignments, you're given some reading, and that's it. So that's not how it works at all. It's basically, we have tried our best using technology to the fullest to get you the kind of interaction that you would officially have if you were on campus in front of your professors with your cohort as well. So that's basically what blended learning is. And I just kind of mentioned the benefits as well. Vatsal, if I missed something out, if you want to add?
No, I think that's...
So shall I move on to the next slide then? Scholarships, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have scholarships. It is still available to date. So please go ahead and apply so that you can make the most of the scholarships. We know for sure it's there this year. We're not too sure about what kind of scholarships you'll have in the future. So please make the most of it now. If you're from an undergraduate, if you're an undergraduate student, you have an automatic scholarship as long as you're accepting our offer. You have another month or so to do that. So please make the application. You'll get an offer from us and accept it. And you've got that automatic £4,000 scholarship for your first year. So it's as easy as it sounds. So the eligibility for that is in 12th, for best of 4, you need to have around 75%. And as I mentioned, just make Essex the firm choice in either UCAS or if you're direct applicant directly. So that's about it. If you're a postgraduate student, we do have, as Vatsal mentioned before, we have segregated the universities in India into section 1, 2, and 3. So depending on where you're from and what kind of grades you have, the scholarship would vary. It starts off at £3,000. It goes up to £5,000. If you are an MBA student, you have more scholarship than that. You would be interviewed by the MBA director because the fees is a little bit higher than the other PG courses. The scholarship is higher as well. So depending on his decision and the kind of profile you have, your scholarship varies in your MBA as well. As it's mentioned on the slide, so you have around 5,000 if you are about 60% from a section 1 or a 2 university, 65 if it's from a 3.
Right. Just to add to that, now we are, apart from the Essex MBA Dean Awards, which are provided through the interview or after the interview, we also have an early bird discount. So if you can apply and accept your offer before the 31st of May, then you will get an additional £3,000 scholarship for the MBA program. And just want to highlight one more thing here is that given the current state of affairs, given the current situation, not a lot of universities are able to or are in the position of offering or still offering various or amounts of scholarships like we are. But again, like I had mentioned in the beginning, and I continue to mention, that we are a student-focused and a student-centric university. So may it be jobs, may it be our courses, our curriculum, or may it be our scholarships, they are all kept and made and executed keeping in mind the student first. So keep that in mind before you make an application as well. And having said that, there is a hashtag that we're still going on with, which is hashtag we are still Essex. And it basically talks about and reaffirms our spirit and our belief and our principles that we so strongly stand for. And there's a small video for that as well.
The world is going through unprecedented disruption. We have all been affected by the global pandemic, and we have had to adapt to keep safe in these difficult times. We are rethinking how we teach, learn and collaborate so our students can continue with their Essex education, whatever the world throws at them. Because we are Essex. We are made of amazing people. People like you.
And them. And them.
We are determined, brave and want to make the world a better place. We are made of laughter, hard work and kindness. We are made of experiences and memories, creating our unique Essex family. And our spirit goes on. We carry on. So it really doesn't matter where in the world we all are right now. We are still Essex, and we will be together apart, and together here again someday soon. In this place we call home.
Right. So, like Meghna had mentioned earlier, we are conducting workshops and classes and different activities online with our students' union. So you can definitely visit the website. This is a small screenshot from the kind of activities that have taken place this week. So there are very different things online happening that the students' union is organizing. We also have different clubs and societies on campus. So we have from all the way from sports and football and horse riding and juggling, etc., all the way to something as bizarre as a Harry Potter society or a Quidditch society. So you have basically everything in case you do not have something of your choice out of the 120 odd societies, you can easily create them as well. And this is so in case you are looking at Essex and you do reach us, this is the kind of an insight that that I'm providing to the life of a student of Essex.
Sam, we're going to be late.
Something is changing. Now I'm moving. Oh, I guess we will see just what I will do, who I will become. Yes! I'm not walking away, I'm not leaving behind. I'm just heading in boldly to what I will find. Nothing else matters more now than finding my home. I never imagined to be here alone. All these new lessons to learn on my own. I'm trying to make it all up as I go along. I'm at the beginning, I'll fight to the troubles are easy with you now, my friend. Nothing's impossible now, we're on our way up. It's harder and harder, but we won't give up. All of these moments will one day add up. I'm not one to ever regret the moments that make us. We finished, we made it, we answered the call. Took on this journey and walked through it all. Where we won't
stand here in solidarity with you
all up to us. Something is changing, and now I'm moving on. I guess we will see, just what I will do, who I become. Something is changing, and now I'm moving on. I guess we will see, just what I will do. Something is changing. Something is changing.
Right, so I hope you enjoyed that, and we are active on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us and on Instagram as at Uni Essex, and on Facebook at UOE India. So feel free to follow us for daily updates and fun stories. Right, we'll take on questions from here. I hope the presentation was able to answer a lot of the questions and inquiries and give you a better idea of studying in UK and studying at Essex as well. And you can always reach us at india@essex.ac.uk, and that's my mobile number as well at the bottom. So happy to kind of share our contact details as well. And I think we will drop the same in the chat box. And before I stop sharing my screen, there's also a Google form that I suppose the SI UK staff would have asked you to fill, but I would just reiterate in case you have not, please fill the Google form with your details so that it's easy for us to get in touch with you later as well. So thank you very much, and we can now have some questions.
Thank you. This was a very detailed presentation, and you did cover some of the questions. So I will start with the first question that we had from Garima. You did cover this with the information about career fair. So the question is, what are the opportunities after masters? You did cover career fair, saying that 52 employers attend, which is amazing, but maybe you can tell us a bit more what students can expect from the career fair and how often this happens.
Right. So actually that video is a couple of years old. It's now more than 75 companies that actually visit the campus in the career fair. And having said that, the first career fair actually happens around the end of October. So for example, last year, the session started on 3rd of October, and the first career fair was held on 28th of October. So definitely as soon as you land or as soon as you reach, we are actually providing, and we have started with the with the support that you need in terms of getting jobs. The other thing is that our career center, our career services center, is always giving that help that a student needs. So career fair is actually the stop wherein you then network with and share your profile with the companies. But to reach there, our career center will help you in, drafting the right CV, in preparing for interviews. There are classes and seminars for that. There is a seminar and a workshop on how to build a strong LinkedIn profile. There are different workshops and part-time jobs. There are even course-specific seminars. So how to get a career in data science, how to get a career in STEM courses, what is the role of women in the STEM industry and how they can work their way up. So, and what skills they need, what skills you need if you come from a non-business background and you're looking looking for a business career or a corporate career. So this is the kind of step and support that we need, that we provide all the way until you reach that career fair and start interacting with companies and then get that job.
Can I just add something here? So we do have, as Vatsal mentioned, we do have a career center. If you are from the business related courses, we have a separate career center in the business school itself. Those specific you have there. We have a startup. So anyone who's interested in businesses, Vatsal did touch upon it briefly, but I'm just going to elaborate a bit. So if anyone's from MBA and they want to start their own, company, if they're from entrepreneurship backgrounds, they want to start something by themselves. We do have something known as the Knowledge Gateway. It houses a lot of startups. It houses some local companies. You have an opportunity to do some internship there, work with them, understand how, it starts from a business plan to how it's actually functioning. So you do have that live experience. It's literally next to the business school. So you have that kind of exposure. And there are companies from all sorts of backgrounds. It's not very business centric. There is technological startups, name it, and it's available there. So depending, right, when you have your induction, they let you know about all of this and the different options that are available. I think it's pretty much left to the student on how they are proactive through their entire process in taking it forward. There are a lot of graduate programs, of course, in the UK, and the Career Center does help in letting the students know what is specific to their particular industry and when it's happening and when the deadlines are. They basically have to sign up for it, and they do give information on all of this as well. So as Vatsal mentioned, the career fairs are something like the last tipping point. So you have updates throughout your course.
That sounds absolutely amazing. Really great support for students. Moving on to the next question, which is a bit specific, and it's in regards to media-related courses from Pugalandi. So I would suggest that any specific course-related questions are directly answered via email. You can email at india@essex.ac.uk because we have quite diverse audience. So I would suggest and encourage students to ask course-specific questions directly. So the next question is, what are the qualifications needed for international students to pursue master's degree and course duration for master's?
What was the first part of the question?
So what are the qualifications needed?
So is that for a particular course? I mean, has that been specified? Or
it's just general? Like for general question for master's course.
So, well, I think we accept, I mean, depends on what you want to do. I think we take a 3-year degree to a 3-year non-honors degree all the way to a 4-year BTech degree, or it's completely fine. So we have an exhaustive list of Indian universities that we pretty much recognize, and it's almost all of them. And if you have graduated with a full-time degree from there, you're pretty much eligible to apply. There is no other eligibility that I can think of. I mean, it's such a broad question, because there would be certain course-specific eligibilities in terms of the background that you require, or if there is any work experience required. But apart from that, there is no other specific eligibility requirement that we have, right, Meg?
That's a very good answer to a quite broad question, yes. And as we mentioned before, if there is anything specific, this can be addressed via email. And the next question is quite specific. Is work experience mandatory for MBA?
Yes, it is. We need a minimum of 3 years work experience for the MBA. The students should have completed 3 years at the time of application. It cannot be like they have 1 month left and they apply. By the time they've completed, it doesn't work that way. They should have completed 3 months, the
3
time
years.
that they make the application for the MBA. I think I mentioned it earlier as well. There's an interview process for the MBA apart from just the application. It's not a straightforward yes or no. The MBA director does have an interview for this, and he gauges on how the student is, will he fit the cohort, as well as he is giving you more information on the kind of scholarships the student would receive at this point. So yeah, that's about our MBA.
Yeah, that sums up. So another question, and I think we can make it a bit more relevant to the wider audience. So the question is, are there any scholarships for master degrees? So I think like we can formulate this question and just tell the audience what is the easiest way to see available scholarships.
So I think Meg did cover this in her slide there. We do have scholarships for master's students. We have scholarships ranging from £3,000 to £5,000. And like I said, it's rare for universities to still offer given the current scenario. And if you are applying for any of a master's degree, you are eligible to achieve that scholarship. There is no separate application process. There is no separate test for the scholarship. We will look at your overall academic profile. We will look at your statement of purpose, and keeping that in mind, we will then provide you the scholarship along with your offer letter. So it's very straightforward.
Sounds great. Another question is very specific, but may be interesting. So is there any particular recognition for students who completed ACCA?
So, right now, if you have completed ACCA already, now what we do offer is, in some cases, we do offer exemption from ACCA examinations up to I think 8 papers. Yeah. So those would be under the accounting courses at the master's level and also at the bachelor's level. But if you've already completed ACCA, there will not be. I don't think there is a certain exception for you. As a student, because I mean, you won't, I mean, the exemption will not really apply if you've already completed ACCA. The good thing, however, on the other hand, would be that because our business school and finance and accounting courses are in the top 200 in the world, if you come in with that kind of a qualification already, you will really be a strong candidate in terms of finding jobs. So that can easily be a good step up for you if you've already completed the ACCA qualification.
Okay, so let me just double check if we covered all the questions. There's another question, but it's very specific to diploma in mechanical engineering. So I would suggest that this question is answered directly through an email. I'm just checking. I think that's it for now. I think that we answered all the questions. I think this is the opportunity for everyone to add anything, or we can slowly complete the session.
Just a quick response to the mechanical engineering bit. We do not offer a pure mechanical degree, but at the bachelor's level, we do offer mechatronics, which is a combination of electronics and robotics and mechanical included. And at the master's level, the closest that we can offer to mechanical is an intelligent systems and robotics degree. So I think this is a very easy answer as well to the mechanical question. Yeah.
That's great. I think this is it from questions. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good to close the session for today. Thank you very much for your time. It was really interesting to attend and very useful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Giovanna. Thank you, SIUK, and thank you, Meghna and Sandeep, for helping me out as well. This was a good session. I hope it again clarified and answered your questions.
Great. Thank you, everyone.